In this video, I will be ranking every player's performance in the France versus Japan U-20 game, and I'll talk about my biggest takeaways for each. This game is truly wild with a lot of over performances and a lot of under performances. So without further ado, get ready for some generational slander, glaze, and who knows, maybe even some unexpected praise. So sit back, relax, and let's hop into the video. Now, just to make it clear, we will only be talking about Blue Lock players, Hugo, Charles, and Loki. Sorry to the whole two Camus fans, but I don't think most of us give a shit about these no-name France shitters. And to decide who we'll talk about first, let's spin the magical wheel of glaze and slander. Well, it seems our destinies with one another are tied in the knots of fate. This fucking guy had a fluke match in the Nigeria game, but I just couldn't prove it. But now, oh, we are so back. This guy did fucking nothing the entire game, then just got subbed out. And as many of you guys are probably aware, I put Hiyori just above Batra in my ranking every player in block video months and months ago, and all hell broke loose, because by the end of the PXG game, I just felt that Hiyori had significantly better feats at this point in the story. But the Batra Glazers did not like that. But you know, each side made their good arguments for their favorite character, so you know, who was I to say otherwise? Then, that fateful game. The first match of the U-20 World Cup between Japan's block versus Nigeria. My agenda was fucking massacred in this match. Batra gets the first goal of the arc for the second arc in a row, then proceeds to assist all of the other 3 goals, having one of the most goated performances, while my goat Hiyori touched the ball like 1 time with barely a lick of impact. It was a travesty trying to defend him while knowing all the slander was true and valid. But the story is not all doom and gloom, because in the second match of the arc, we versed France, the favorites to win. And now that we're versing a much stronger team, Batra literally cannot do anything, as he gets easily shut down time and time again before getting subbed out. On the other side of the pitch, my goat Hiyori has had insane levels of impact. You know, we'll get to him later. So what can we take away from this data? Well, it's simple. Batra is a fraud and bum who can only punch down on shitters. But the second he versus people much stronger than him, he's powerless and trash. My video was correct. Hiyori is better than this Jenga dribbling schizo. Batra literally seems to have no ability to punch up. He gets farmed in the NEL arc, only barely beating the turbo dysfunctional team of Manshine, and then can also farm the frail, weak country of Nigeria. I know I just talked a lot, but like, for me, his inability to punch up at all just makes him shit. So in conclusion, Batra can only bully the little guy, but can't punch up to any extent, so I will be giving him a 0 out of 10 for his performance in this match. Next up, it seems we have IQ, our strong defensive captain. I hate to say this, honestly, but bro's peak was definitely the U-20 match. He's always been a strong defensive pillar, and as much as I hate to say this, he really did fucking nothing in this match either. They scored 3 times in the match, and in all 3 times, he got clipped on without putting up any resistance. Not like he's just trying and barely missing. No. He's completely being negated. The first play, he got giga faked by Loki. Second play, he's just nowhere to be seen. And then finally in the third play, he straight up just couldn't keep up. Bro is easier to get through than a woman at a Portuguese cat house. Overall, just pretty disappointing, because the other defenders had at least one moment where they did something. But our supposed #1 defender captain did nothing. But I will give him at least some credit for stopping Isagi and Karasu from fighting, for whatever that's worth. So I'll give him a 0.1 out of 10. Damn, we landed on a big one, boys. We got Karasu. This was one of the biggest jumps in power we've seen throughout the entire story. Also, truthfully, one of the most unexpected. We first get introduced to him in season 2 as being ranked 3rd in the entire facility, which sounds impressive until you realize that was just weird cope and glaze from ego, as Isagi, Nagi, and Bara were all better than him. Either way, he was ranked 3rd, then proceeded to get 0 goals in the U-20 game. Now, obviously, goals aren't everything, but the point still holds. Then in the new Egress League, he also gets completely put in the back burner, while on PXG, he was completely and utterly outshined by Rin Nishido, which, like, fair enough. 99% of players won't be able to do anything in this team. Then after doing nothing in 2 arcs straight, again in the Nigeria game, he does nothing. Always a good player, you know, doing his job in the midfield, but never in the spotlight. Then out of nowhere, as you were all waiting for me to say it, he somehow pulls out on this roster the most generational performance on the pitch. After hearing Hugo's words to Usagi about being the second best, something within him clicks and he just accepts the fact that he'll never be the world's best striker and decides to go full midfielder in this match. He actually then proceeds to have a life game, being the hard carry for block, being the only person on their team time and time again to create goal opportunities for his team, especially the assist he gets with Hiyori. This might be one of my favorite goals in this series, bro. While also stealing the ball from Loki, weaponize Shido for a second assist, and he's the only player to help dribble the ball up and downfield multiple times. So in this match, he was clearly blocks #1 when it comes to pure usefulness. I still can't say this enough, but I'm still in disbelief we're talking about fucking Karasu and not Isagi. We will get to him later. That situation is... But I will say overall, I do believe this is where Karasu just gives up on being a striker, or where he should just give up being a striker and become a midfielder. Like, compared to players like Ren Shido, you just gotta accept the gifts God's given you, man. Like, don't even try to fight it anymore. I'm also extremely curious about what Ego will say to him after this match, because it seems a tad bit clear to me, at least. He's just ignoring Ego's philosophy, doing his own thing. But yeah, overall, extremely impressive, and he somehow joined the top ranks in block, arguably being top 3 to 5 overall now. So from this performance, I will be giving him an 8 out of 10. Next, we have the glam goat himself, RU. Now, this one's actually kind of disappointing to me because after what he did in the last match, I expected a little bit more. The only thing he did the entire fucking game was get the rebound from Kunigami's save, but he still did do better than IQ. But that's a pretty low bar in this match. But the point still stands that after the last game, seeing his martial arts defense able to completely shut down Unazi, I really did expect him to form some sort of wall to stop at least some blaze, but he really didn't do anything. Sucks too, because he's such a goated character. But the biggest takeaway from me in this match is, yeah, sure, he may be good one-on-one. When it comes to passing plays, he seems to be kind of like a non-factor as people just get around him, and he's not smart like Nico. So sadly, I'll only be giving him a 1 out of 10 for this game. Now, I'm writing this script before the very, very final chapter of this match, and I definitely have some thoughts. First off, I just gotta say it. This is the most dog shit performance I have ever witnessed from Ren. Literally, all he did the entire match was clip Loki, just to get instantly cockblocked by Hugo, and then nothing else for the entire match until the very end where he tries to steal Isagi's goal. So, here's my thoughts on this moment. It's dog shit. So before reading the final chapter, I have 2 theories, and I will circle back with myself when I finally read it. Either it'll be option A, which is they score here and Rin gets credit for no reason, even though all he did was potentially throw. Isagi was point blank with white hair. He did not need your help here, little bro. If this is the case, I will not give Ren even 1% of credit for this goal, so he'll probably just end with a 0 out of 10 for this game. Or it will be option B, which is the nuclear meltdown option, where because he touched the ball, it causes them to miss or fuck the shot up enough for someone to save it. And if option B happens, I swear to God, he would need to be benched until the end of time for a throw like that. And we know he has a history of throwing all right, like in the Peak Street game where he didn't shoot the open net or pass to Shido, who's wide open to close out the match. If option B happens, he will get the first ever negative level performance of all time. So now at this point, I guess all we can do is wait and see what happens. Just really quickly, want to let you guys know we do have a Patreon where I'm reacting to One Piece. God damn! And the block manga. Kunigami fucking saved it! So if either of those sound interesting to you, check it out. If we want to talk about disappointment, then this is our guy. Obviously, everyone loves Goat Maru for being a goated character and just being goofy, but this performance was pretty fucking bad. Now, obviously, France is an extremely strong team, but they took 3 shots and he didn't save a single one. Loki's and Charles shots are like, you know, sure, but bro, this Hugo shot may actually seriously be putting him on fraud watch. Let's analyze this real quick. When he first shoots it from this angle, it looks as if the ball is going straight to the middle of the net, exactly where he's already standing. Then flip into the next page. I was right. This shit literally was center middle. How the fuck are we not saving that? It went straight to you. Now, I'm no goalie, but surely we got to be saving these. No? Like, I hate to talk about this because I love him, but like, what are we doing? If anyone in the comments has actually played goalie or has some ball knowledge, let me know if I'm missing something here or this is actual valid slander. But yeah, easily a sad 0 out of 10 for our boy. Next, we have this sexy femboy himself in Chigiri. Now, a lot of the same ways I feel about Batra is kind of just how I've always felt about Chigiri. When versing someone weaker than him, he can farm and do his job, but he really struggles to punch up as well. And the NL arc, he was consistently a strong pillar for his team, mainly because no one was able to keep up with such speed. But the second we enter a match where someone can keep up with this speed, he falls apart like a house of cards. In the match, he made one pass to Rayo, that ended up doing nothing, got clipped on by this random French baguette, and finally slowed Loki down for a second to let Karsu steal the ball. But the second his speed couldn't carry him like in all the other matches, he's just instantly subbed out. I hate to say it, but this guy Chigiri just doesn't have what it takes. Whenever he versus someone smarter than him, like Isagi, or someone who can actually nullify his speed, he has no singular other weapon to attack with. Compared to the actual top dogs in Block, I just can't see a world where he's ever at the top. Also, I hate to be the one to say this, but his leg is probably gonna snap and shatter at some point in this arc. I know, I'm sorry, but it's true. Overall, my biggest takeaway for Chigiri is something I've said a number of times in this channel, that he's too much of a one trick without enough weapons for me to ever really take him seriously. So overall, I'll give him a 1 out of 10 because he at least helped Karsu steal the ball from Loki. Okay, now this one's gonna piss people off, but we have Baro next, and I'm just gonna be the first one to say it. I'm kind of done with this guy. He's just boring to me at this point. Is his shtick the entire series just going to be the fact that he can't do anything by himself and can only get goals by max hyenaing for his team? He walks around all cocky, but like, little bro, you do not ever set up goals yourself the way Isagi or Rin does. Let's actually think about the goals he's gotten since the end of season 1. Firstly, against Rin, he stole the ball to score, then stole the ball to score again in the U-20 game, then for a third time he did the same thing. Now I'm going to hear the fat Baro fans being like, he made his own goals in the Ubers match. Yeah, I guess, but he also had an entire team holding his hands catered to only serve him. Even in the Ubers match, where he went crazy, abandoning all the plans, his minions were still loyal to him and passing to him. And although the shot was great, the only reason it went in is because Snuffy blocked Noah. It's just max luck that Snuffy wanted to assist him here. In a match where he doesn't have a team built around him, like Blue Lock, where people are not gonna like full assist him, he just can't do anything on his own without stealing from others, and it's just boring at this point. It was hype in the U-20 game for me because of how unexpected it was, but at this point in the story, it's just stale. I don't want to see another hyena goal from him for the rest of the arc. It's done, bro. Like, let's end this stupid fucking shit. Let's see it, Monkey. Can you actually make some goals happen without stealing the setup and hard work from others? Also, not even to mention, it's not even like Shido needed help here. He states this would have been a 50-50 dead heat with whoever touching it first wins. Do we really believe in an aerial battle of physicality Loki was going to do anything against this guy? Fuck no. That 5-4 speed merchant would have gotten bodied by Shido. Overall, I just feel this goal is boring and unnecessary, but a goal is still a goal, so I'll give him a 4 out of 10 for his performance this match. Keep in mind, also, when Kaiser scored a goal, arguably one of the best in the entire series, because it was set up from Isagi, he felt disgusted, as a real striker should, unlike monkey fuck Baro thinking he's all that in a bag of chips from stealing goals. Okay, I'm done dunking on this guy. Let's move on. Next up, we have my goat Hiyori. I never gave up on you, little guy. I did give up on him. Unlike fat fuck Batra when needing a strong supportive player, he stepped up. He was the main weapon along with Karsu dribbling the ball up and down the field multiple times. He shattered Loki's ankles, scored a goal, even though for me most of the credit still goes to Karsu, and also gave Isagi the final pass of the game, getting around to Loki. Overall, he was just goated, but there are some takeaways I have for him. I think we already knew this, but he will definitely never be a pro striker. Even when Karsu passed to him, he passed right back because the idea of scoring is never even in his head for some reason. And again, he only scored because Karsu did all of the work, literally telling him where to aim. Then at the end of the match, once again, he's thinking about trying the same shot from before, but quickly changes his mind, trying to find the best pass possible. I think with his skills, IQ, dribbling, and passing abilities, he should just become a second midfielder alongside Karsu, especially with them having such a good synergy. I don't really see many people stopping this duo in the midfield, so I'll give Hiyori a 6 out of 10 from his performance in this game, with a really strong recommendation of him becoming a midfielder. Now this one really hurts my soul to do, but Isagi, my glorious goat, got his cheeks touched in this match, and I really can't argue against it. He gets fired up against Hugo to instantly get sat down, tries to take the shot just to get clipped on by Charles and miss, tries to shit talk Karasu just to get dunked on. Ego abandons him by switching away from his formation built around him. Barra bullies him, calling him a beta, but then he turns it around by stealing the ball from Loki, joining the Karasu system, and tearing through the field before making it to the end of the goal. And he's the only player on the field who absolutely dominate Hugo by washing him in a battle of luck before shooting and getting cucked by Ren. This actually annoyed me so much, but I kind of expected it when I saw Ren tweaking. Some big takeaways for Isagi though is the fact that he seemed to fully learn his suitability, and the fact that he's not really meant to be the number one. He shines brightest when trying to devour the number one like Ren or Kaiser, etc. Also, he's the only player on the field to really just beat Hugo completely by himself. So I hate to say it though, Isagi did nothing this entire game, and I would have given him some points if that shot went in, but Ren fucked the shot, so it didn't matter in the end. So I hate to do this, but I will be giving him a 0 out of 10 as well. Now, probably the absolute worst performance considering our expectations. We have Loki. This guy was supposed to be the absolute strongest foe they ever faced by a country mile, because in the PXG game, seemingly not trying at all, he fucking negative diffs a full powered Isagi and Kaiser. And even Noel Noah, the greatest player in the world, even considers him to be the biggest threat towards him. And then, and I'm not going to change the order of what happens in this match, firstly, he helps fake for Charles to score the first goal of the match. Okay, not bad. Then he gets clipped on by Nico. Then he gets clipped on by Ren. Then he gets clipped on by Hiyori. Then he gets clipped on by Karasu. Then he gets clipped on by Kunigami. And finally, he gets clipped on by Baro. Literally every single member in Blue Lock lined up to run a train on him, all having their way with him, back to back to back to back to back. Truly, the author really nerfed him, because just one match ago, he was running around like an omnipotent god who people couldn't even react to. I've never put someone on Fraud Watch so hard in my entire life. Never have I ever seen such a build-up just to witness such an insane amount of blue balling. He eventually does score, but like the other goals in this match, the person setting it up did like 99% of the work, with Hugo dribbling downfield, giving him the perfect pass where all he had to do was volley it in at the end. Like, I'm sorry, it's not that impressive. He also stops Otoya's shot, but that just falls into Isagi, who takes it all the way to the net. So like, and even in that same play, he already clips him for a second time, passing around him. I understand if just watching the last chapter he scored, but that goal made no difference. They would have lost either way. So I'm not really giving it that much credit. It was just like, why not? It didn't make any difference in the end. Overall, this genuinely has to be the most fraudulent performance I have ever fucking seen. So yeah, with everything in mind, I will be giving him a 2 out of 10 from how crazy he underperformed, and just for the sheer volume of amount of times he got clipped on. Next time we see him play, I will be putting him under the strongest microscope there is to see if he really is a Megami level fraud. Next up is Charles, and honestly, this one's weirder to rank than others because his role in the series seemed to be fully replaced by Hugo. In the NEL arc, he was hyped up to be Loki's new right-hand man who could give him crazy passes. He was setting up Ren and Cheeto for nearly every goal they got in the arc, but in this match, he did nothing of the sort. First play of the game, he scores. Then later in the match, he stops Isagi from scoring by getting in his way. But really? Other than that, he pretty much does nothing but help pass the ball around a tiny bit here and there. I'm just more confused, like, why is he even in the story now? Because it seems to me like the author designed him as the original passing midfielder for Loki, then just randomly changed his mind by introducing Hugo to replace him. A lot of the assist and passing roles were just stolen from him here. I don't think I'll slander at him at all, because it's not like he was useless, just like he did his role and nothing more. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10 because he scored, he saved a goal, but then he pretty much did nothing the rest of the game. Next up, we have Emogami, the character I've slandered on this channel more than anyone else. Now, truthfully, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Emogami, you've been promoted to Kunigami once again from your performance, and for the fact that you finally went to game without saying or acting emo. Congrats. And now to replace you as my most slandered block character is none other than Ben Shira. But Kunigami was subbed in for the second half of Block's match alongside Shido and Baro. And with this 2-week training, his one job was to be a defensive tank for the team. And that's exactly what Bro does. Absolutely shitting on Loki, stopping him from scoring. Let Go, Kunigami. You literally went from doing nothing but stealing goals from Isagi in the Manshine game to actually having impact without saying some cringe emo to the extremo bullshit to ruin it. It brings a tear to my eye. It's almost as if some slight lights of hope are shining through to come back to his old self. If he keeps up this level of performance, I may actually like him again. I know, nearly a blasphemous statement to make on this channel at this point, but all we can do now is wait and see. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that in the Pikachu game, it was not just a fluke. He's actually just kind of cracked at defense. So yeah, just like how I give Baro 4 points for scoring a goal, I will be giving Kunigami 4 points as well for saving a goal. Good job, Kunigami, and keep up the good work. Next up, we have the secret true ore farmer of the story in Eita Otoya. He was subbed in for Rayo at the end of the game to help with their Karasu-centric system, since just like Hiyori, he has very good synergy with him. Overall, he didn't really do anything, and I don't have that many thoughts about him since he barely had any playtime, but he did do a decent job in the time he was subbed in. He helped dribble with Karasu and Hiyori down the field. He also took a shot that, even though it missed, gave Block the opening they needed for Isagi to steal it for the final play of the game. Plus, he hit the most goated line of the entire series, saying he will hit them with his aura. So, you know, I was just gonna give him like a 2 or 3 out of 10, but because of how tough this line was, I'll give him a 4 out of 10. Fuck it, why not? Getting closer to the end, we have Rayo Mikage. This one's kind of weird to me because I feel like he has the most potential out of every character in this entire lineup, but he just doesn't do anything with it. He did his role throughout the game, passing up and down the field with Karasu and trying to set Isagi up, which is fine, I guess, but he really just puzzles me, like the way he plays. Why is he not like let loose and a lot more aggressive? He has the abilities of almost everyone, but never gets creative and does anything with it. He has Rin shooting, Shido's shooting, Bachira's dribbling, probably Baro's dribbling, Sai's dribbling, Isagi's 2-gun volley, Nagi's trapping, and much more. He seems to be content with just being a supportive role, not trying to make anything happen himself. It's just weird to me because I know if you gave this ability to Isagi, he's running solo down the field, constantly switching forms every 5 seconds to keep confusing the opponents while scoring infinite solo goals. Like, as a defender, what do you even do when someone who can dribble like Bachira, and 5 seconds later switches to Sai's dribbling, and 5 seconds later switches to Hiyori's dribbling, and then also has every shot course opening from either Ren, Shido, or Isagi? It's like in genuine absurd levels of throwing, the fact he doesn't try and do more with all of the shit he can do. Now, I'm not gonna put him on Fraud Watch, but I don't know. Having the abilities of everyone in the series just to not do anything is not Fraud Watch yet, because it's not like he tried and failed, but get the alarms ready because he may be teetering on that edge. Overall, I'll give him like a 3 out of 10, maybe 4 out of 10 for his performance this game. I just want to see him do more. Next up, we have our defender, Nico. Much like the rest of our team, he basically did nothing all game, except he did outposition Loki by stealing the ball from him. That was pretty well played, but once again, he didn't really do anything else. I'm probably just going to be forced to give him a 2 out of 10 because he potentially did stop a goal here. My biggest takeaway for Nico is... he's there, I guess. Next and second to last, we have my absolute GOAT and second favorite character of the show in Shido. He was subbed onto the field with Kunigami and Baro at halftime, and instantly right away he caused chaos. Yeah, my GOAT gets the ball from Karasu because he realizes he's the strongest weapon at the time, and he dribbles past 2 shares by himself. Who said he can't dribble? And remember that guy who completely stopped Bachira's dribbling? Yeah, broken counter, Bachira's fancy footwork, all he wants, but he can't handle the raw speed, strength, and sex appeal of my boy. While he continues passing the ball down the field with Karasu and Hiyori, he eventually helps get the ball all the way down to their net when, obviously, as we mentioned before, hyena fat fuck Baro comes flying in, stealing it for himself, unable to do anything himself. No one can deny Shido isn't the main force of this attack here. Even Baro himself states Shido is Blue Lock's new king. Overall, I do consider this goal way more Shido's than Baro's, so I think it's fair to give Shido a 4 out of 10 as well, since he really did make that goal possible. I don't really have that many takeaways for Shido, as he pretty much acts or plays the same in every match he's in. My only hope for him is in the future, someone on Blue Lock can get more out of him the same way Sai did. Like, let's give him some more crazy monkey passes, please, just so we can see him pull off these crazy shots again. And then finally, the one you were all waiting for, we have Vivian Hugo. My main takeaway for this guy is that not Loki, but he is by far the greatest player on this French team. Weird too, because going into this arc, I think 100% of us expected France to be the super dangerous best team because of Loki. But in reality, he's just kind of a minor inconvenience. Hugo was the brains, heart, and soul of this entire team, being involved in literally nearly every single play the entire match. He assisted both Loki and Charles with their goals, while also scoring the third one for himself. He shuts down Isagi, their star player, 99% of the game, blocks Ren's shot, shatters Isagi's nearly unbreakable mental with facts and logic. He stops Baro's shot, and dribbles past multiple people while controlling the ball up and down the field the majority of the game. The only one singular time he got beat in the entire match was in the last second in a battle of luck against Isagi. But, you know, he was in his white-haired form at this point, so there's not really much anyone could even do. I really still can't believe how good he is. I don't even think Kaiser was bitching Isagi out this hard when he first got introduced. His philosophy of being the second best was also interesting. In his mind, it's not about being second place, but being the second-hand man who controls the ball, helping to set up the number one in order to win with his team. His ego was also crazy as well, with him not being bothered by labels like first or second best. His ultimate goal is just to win the World Cup 4 times in order to go down in history as one of humanity's legends, even outperforming Pele. Truly one of, if not probably the most monstrous egos I even thought possible when watching the show. Overall, he just feels like a better version of Isagi that's extremely rational and almost robot-like, but not having that Isagi egotistical X factor is ultimately the reason I feel Isagi will surpass him in the future. But overall in this game, I don't think anyone can deny he deserves the crown as this match's MVP. And I will be giving him an easy 10 out of 10 for this performance. Overall though, fun video to make. Like and subscribe if you want to watch more anime and Blue Lock content. Once again, thanks to Goat Yuri for being in the special grade tier of our Patreon. And yeah, see you all in the next one. Peace.